What's up guys, welcome to episode 59. We're our absolute favourite camping spot, and that's Point Plomer. Or is it? We'll get to that later on.
So this episode's a bit different to the other ones.
We are on a surf trip at Point Plomer, but we are not going to be doing that type of episode this time. Instead, we're going to run you guys through our new mods on the Prado. Let's go take a look.
You'll see the first thing we've upgraded is the roof rack.
And we've gone for the Rhino Rack Pioneer platform with the backbone system. I did think about getting a front runner roof rack, which is probably much more superior to the Rhino Rack, but it was so much more expensive. The Rhino Rack I think is going to work for our needs. So before, we just used to have the normal roof bars. The good thing about the Pioneer platform is it's got the rails, so we can attach all the attachments easily to the platform, which is great. I haven't got much attached for this trip, but I have got a steady work light at the back, which is an absolute game changer. I haven't got it permanently wired up at the moment, it's just attached to a couple of crocodile clips on the Audi battery. There is some plans to do some further mods in the back, and at that point it will be more permanent, but it is a game changer, especially when we're using the K-On drop down table. It's got a plastic cover over the light that just pops off, and then this is just really a camping light to light up the rear of the car, especially when we haven't got the trailer and we're working just from the K-On.
You may have noticed the next mod, which is the UHF antenna on the rear wheel.
Based on that, you've probably guessed that we've got a new in-car UHF, and we'll go into that in a minute. So why did we mount the antenna on the rear wheel? It's a good question. There is a reason for that. Luckily for us, K-On, and K-On seem to just solve every type of problem that we've got for this car, have built a bracket so that you can mount an antenna on the back. So that's the GME 2.1 DBI antenna, and that's perfect for the type of driving that we do. So why did we put it on the back? So reason number one, having it mounted at the back means it's a bit higher up than on the bull bar, so it just gives you a better spread. It's just a bit higher up. The other good thing about having it at the back is the car acts as protection. So if you're driving through a narrow track, through branches and overhanging trees, you can hit the aerials when they're mounted on the bull bar because they're right at the front of the vehicle. At the back, the car itself offers a lot of protection, so that's reason number two. Reason number three, with the ARB bull bar that I have, the mounts are sort of fairly central on the bull bar. So if we have the antenna mounted at the front, it's either in my line of sight or it's in the butler's line of sight. So 2.1 dBi aerial is better for the type of driving that we do. That's essentially for more hilly type terrain. The bigger, longer aerials are for when you're out more in desert, sort of flat country. So for the type of driving that we do, that 2.1 dBi is perfect for us. Okay.
So the only problem with having a aerial on the back is it needs much more wire to get to the front seat.
And it is quite a job actually, because it has to feed around the door, through the hinge, up into the roof, so all that has to come off and then sort of hidden out of view to the actual radio itself, and we'll show you that in a bit.
But how cool is the black GME?
Yeah, it looks awesome. I really like it. They look good, and I think it looks really good on the back.
Hey, because we're at the back of the vehicle, why don't you tell them about the crash pad bag?
Yeah, good point. So you'll notice that we had the crash pad rubbish bag on the rear wheel. Anyone who's got a Prado or who's had a Prado will know that the reverse camera is centered in the middle of the wheel, which means if you use those bags, you've got no reversing camera, which is why we don't use that bag very often. I'm actually not a big fan of that bag, to be honest. I like the way it sits, I like the way it looks, but the actual bag itself is not that big, so I'm not actually that keen on it. But we can now use that bag thanks to our friends again at K-On, because what they've developed is a camera relocation bracket which actually moves the camera away from the center of the wheel over to the side, which means we can now have a bag and we can use our camera, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Moving round to the front of the car. So comms wise to date, I've been using this Uniden 5-watt handheld UHF, which has actually been really good. The reason I opted for an in-car is because I want both. I want the ability to be able to use the in-car radio and also have the option of a handheld when you're outside the vehicle. I've opted for a GME XRS system. I've forgotten what the model number is, but that will be on the screen below. But the way I've mounted it is really, really good. The good thing about the XRS system is that all of the controls are on the handset. And the way I've mounted it means that I don't have to have the handset out all the time. So I can leave it in the center console and then when I want to use it, all I need to do is plug it in. Let's do a comms check. Let's see how it works. So we're all plugged in. We're on channel 27 and we're going to test it. I'm going to walk down the beach with the handheld and the butler's going to have a go with the GME and we'll see how it performs.
Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 1. This is Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 2. Do you copy?
Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 2. This is Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 1. I copy you loud and clear. Over. Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 2. I'm just at the beach at the moment. I'm looking out. The waves are quite small. Repeat, quite small. Okay, over.
Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 1. I'm in the car and the wind does not look that bad. It's not that windy. Over.
Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 2. I was just wondering whether you would like to start the fire soon. Over.
Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 1. I would love to start the fire soon. Over.
Okay, this is Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 1. Out. Over.
This is Bravo, Bravo, Alpha 2. Out. Over.
So, as well as comms, the next modification we've got is navigation. And I don't know whether you can see that. It's probably reflecting off the screen, but we've opted for the HEMA HX2 navigator and it's awesome. I've only used it once, but I was really impressed with it. So it's got an on-road, off-road function. So the on-road function is a typical sort of like TomTom type GPS unit, which most people are familiar with, but it's also got the off-road feature, which is all of the HEMA maps, and it's connected to a GPS, so you can see where you are in real time, and it's really, really good. So I only used it once and I was really impressed with it. So if you're familiar with HEMA maps, it's pretty much the HEMA maps but with your location constantly updated in real time, so you can see where you are. The good thing about HEMA maps are it shows you what the track conditions should be like. You've got to be careful with that though, because things do change, but it basically tells you whether they're easier, medium, difficult, very difficult. It's really good for planning trips, and it's also good to use whilst you're on a trip. So you can track your trips. There's two ways of doing that. There's a quick track option, which is if you were going down a track and you just wanted to quickly track it so that you could find your way back out again, you just click on that. Or the broader option is the tracking option, but you have to fill out a few sort of boxes and fields before you do that. But the idea being that's the one that's saved onto the unit for other times. You can also set waypoints, which is really good for planning trips. I have only used it once, but I was really impressed with it. There is one thing to be mindful of though. I did notice that it used quite a bit of battery power pretty quickly, so you can opt to run it just on its own, not plugged in, but it will eat the battery pretty quickly, especially when it's communicating with satellites. I had it plugged in through the USB lead, so I've got two options in this car to have either a USB straight into the console or through a 12-volt cigarette lighter. When it was just on the USB, it did draw quite a bit of power, so over the day it did draw the power right down, even though it was plugged in. On the next day when I used it, I plugged it into the cigarette lighter mount, and that stayed on 100% all the day. So that's just one thing to be mindful of. It comes with a suction pad, so this just sits straight on the window, straight in front of me.
And finally, to our last modification, thanks to you guys for hitting 250 subscribers, the Steedy driving lights.
Yeah, so we got them. We got the Type X Pros, so they're the 8.5 inch ones, the bigger ones. So you get the two protective light covers with them. I've changed one to the smiley face because I think that looks sick. The other thing I've changed is the ring. So we've got red rings around ours. You get standard orange or grey. I just think the red looks really nice. It matches the GME aerial and the recovery points. And how good were they?
Oh, they were awesome.
So if you want to check this out, this was us driving down last night and testing them for the very first time.
Yep.
Right, so let's test them. So this is the standard Toyota lights, which are terrible.
Yeah.
Should we see what they're like? Are you ready?
Yep.
So this is the Steedies. Whoa, how good is that?
No!
How good is that?
That is sick.
Oh look, I don't think they're positioned. It looks like they're up in the air a bit.
That's sick.
Which is so much
Oh,
better. Yeah, they're definitely not
God.
positioned right now. I think they seem to be sitting up in the sky a bit.
Yeah,
so
I think that they're kind
just
of
adjust them a bit, bring them down. I reckon they'll be excellent. How good is that?
This is
so good to get to see. So we're pretty happy with them. They worked really well. I think they are sitting up a bit too high, so we just need to adjust them slightly down, just so that the spread goes more forwards than up in the trees. But other than that, they're awesome. So that's pretty much it for the mods. The purpose of this episode is not to review them, because I haven't used them enough yet to give a fair review. I've done that before, prematurely. I did it with the King's fire pit, and I was really impressed with that fire pit to begin with, and you can see that on one of the earlier episodes, but I did it too early because it's actually not that great. Like, it's good in some respects because it folds up nice and small, but what happened was it warped with the heat. So because of that, I'm very reluctant to give reviews on things until I've actually used them. I can say though that the HEMA Navigator is amazing. I'm pretty happy with that so far, but that's the only thing I'm about to comment on at this stage. The other point I'd like to make is that we're not endorsed by any of these products at all, the companies of these products. We've bought these with our own money, so we will give them our honest opinion, but I'm just not going to do that yet because I haven't used them enough. Next thing, Point Plomer. Let's talk a bit about Point Plomer. Point Plomer is a fantastic place, there's no doubt about that. It used to be my absolute favourite place to come camping. It's about 4.5–5 hours from us in Sydney, and it's an epic place to come. However, for me, it's lost a bit of its magic. Don't get me wrong, it's still an amazing place, but I just think the magic's gone a bit. So we've been coming here for years. We used to come a lot, 6, 7, 8 times a year, and it wasn't ever very busy. It was not busy. There used to be, it would be busy over Christmas and obviously the really busy periods, but generally it wasn't that busy. And now it's heaving. It's absolutely heaving. Like, we used to come here all the time, surfing, fishing. We would always catch lots of whiting. You could be guaranteed to be eating whiting. A handful of people, other people camping. It was a very basic campground. It used to be run, it is in the national park, but it was sort of run privately, and that's when I really liked it. It's now been taken over by national parks, and it's really busy. We got here late last night and there was literally nowhere to camp. There was literally like 2 spots, and one of them was boggy, and we're so lucky we found that one spot. But look, it is still an amazing place. I still love it here. I just think it's lost a bit of the magic, and I think a lot of it is to do with the access in. So to get here, there's 2 ways in. You can either come from the south, from Port Macquarie, but you have to drive along the beach, or there is a 4-wheel drive track, or you come from the north, which we did from Crescent Head, and it used to be a dirt road coming in, and sometimes that dirt road can be shocking, and now it's paved, most of it. It's not an unsealed road anymore. It's been sealed, and I think that has sort of contributed to the change. There's also there's some houses and things built here as well, like holiday homes, and it's just, for me, it's just lost the magic. It's busy, it's full of people now where it never used to be, and yeah. Do I love it here? I still love it. Do I love it as much? Definitely not. Is it my favourite spot to come? It's not, I'm afraid. I haven't got a favourite anymore. I need to find a new favourite. Surf-wise, surf is always really good here. The resident dolphins are still here, which was good. They came to see us right today, near us, literally. Like, so it's just, I suppose as time moves on, places just lose their magic. So, but we'll still have a good time, won't we? Yeah.
So what do you reckon, Butler? What's your opinion on things?
To be honest, I don't even remember coming here.
Fair enough.
It'd be interesting to see what this place is like in midweek. I may do a trip up here. I've got some time off work that I've got to use before Christmas. I may do a quick mission up here and just see what it's like. See if the magic is still here during the week.
Yeah.
There used to be dingoes here and everything. It's just so busy now that there's not. It's just got a different feel to it. It's still awesome. It's still beautiful. The surf's still amazing. It's a right-hand point break, which when you've got the right swell direction is amazing. But I don't know. It just the magic's gone for me. It's gone, unfortunately. Right, it's fire time, I reckon. Let's go.
Episode. I hope you like the mods, and we'll let you know how they perform over the next 12 months. We're gonna go for a surf, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the next adventure. And make sure to like and subscribe and follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. See you, bye.